Hey guys, this Are You Ready For? Today is May 1st, 2016, 2:52 p.m. Central Time. Second Amendment, How to Legally Screw Obama's Social Security Administration. This is a sample letter that I said I would do in my last video. For those of you who do not know what I am talking about, you need to inform yourself immediately. This is probably one of the biggest gun grabs that the Obama administration or anyone has done in my lifetime. Millions will lose their rights within almost 90 days if they really wanted to. That video is urgent. Explained Obama strips millions of Second Amendment by SSA illegally. In fact, it is a featured video and will be shown in 10 seconds in this video. If you are on your computer, it will not show up on your Android. Anyway, it is not terribly too long. It is very legal. It does mention a few different things regarding what the paper said and everything else. So I really think this is at a minimum what someone could say who's truly serious about this situation versus someone just trying to tell the Social Security Administration to go F themselves. Or as I would say, go fuck themselves. So anyway, what they want you to do is reference a docket number, which is SSA-2016-0011. So this first paragraph is kind of my paragraph, and then, you can kind of do whatever you want with it. And then after that, it goes on. My name is Are You Ready For It? And I am legally and morally ripping apart your rule proposal under SSA 2016-0011 from April 2016. This letter has been distributed not only throughout the federal government and Congress, but also shared on the popular social media accounts of Are You Ready For It, YouTube, and Facebook. These accounts combined automatically reach over 6,000 people due to subscriptions, and a large majority of those subscriptions are highly active online. Therefore, it would be in the Social Security Administration's best interest to not ignore this letter and its importance, as thousands will be awaiting your response, not just myself. The Social Security Administration has no legal authority or obtains any jurisdiction to report any beneficiary receiving benefits to the Attorney General, who will report to the National Instant Criminal Background Check System, which is maintained by the federal or FBI. In fact, in your proposal, you explicitly cite a minimum twice United States law that would legally contradict your legal authority to report to the Attorney General any beneficiary. Period. On page 6 begins the terminology which SSA is attempting to use to report beneficiaries. It begins stating, the relevant section of the DOJ guidance discusses the federal mental health prohibitor and relevant agency records with respect to that prohibitor as follows, end quote. The DOJ's third point, which is cited immediately, ends your legal authority to report a beneficiary. It states on page 7. Third, mental defective also does not include a person whose adjudication or commitment was imposed by a federal government or agency and ... You need to go no further in definition within that section. Mental defective also does not include a person whose adjudication or commitment was imposed by a federal government or agency. That would be you, the Social Security Administration. Regardless of that legal definition and prevention which SSA falls under, on page 11, you state the following. To comply with the requirements of the NIAA, we propose to identify on a prospective base any Title II or Title 16 beneficiary whom we are required to report for inclusion in the NICS, because that person is subject to the federal mental health prohibitor as a result of our adjudication, end quote. Let me make your words clear. Quote, the person is subject to federal mental health prohibitor as a result of our adjudication, end quote. Under United States law, which you cited unambiguously, prevents your agency from imposing your ability to determine whether a person is adjudicated mental defective, which you are indeed attempting to do in your words. Quote, result of our adjudication, end quote. You actually state the terminology our adjudication many times throughout this rule proposal. In addition, the law which you religiously reference as your legal obligation to follow, the reason this, quote, rule proposal, end quote, exists, NIAA unambiguously states, Section 101, enhancement of requirement that federal departments and agencies provide relevant information to the National Instant criminal background check system. C, standard for adjudications and commitments related to mental health. 1, no department or agency of the federal government may provide to the Attorney General any record of an adjudication related to mental health of a person or any commitment of a person to a mental institution if C, quote, the adjudication or commitment respectively is based solely on a medical finding of disability, end quote. And it goes on. I should not have to go any further to show SSA does not have the legal obligation or authority to report to the Attorney General a single beneficiary, but I will cite one last section of your rule proposal, which again, unambiguously, in your words, states that you are well aware of your inability to execute this not only accurately but also legally. On page 13, you state the following: we recognize that there is no perfect fit between 1, our adjudication regarding a claimant's entitlement to benefits and determination of whether to designate a representative payee, and 2, the regulatory definition of an individual who is subject to the federal mental health prohibitor, considering the relevant regulatory factors discussed above. However, we believe that there is a reasonable and appropriate fit between the criteria we use to decide whether some of our beneficiaries are disabled and require a representative payee and the federal mental health prohibitor. Again, unambiguously, in your words, states you are well aware of your inability to execute this not only accurately, but also legally. Quote, we believe that there is a reasonable and appropriate fit, end quote, does not fall under or protected by any law within U.S. code for any federal government, department, or agency's authority that their belief holds any legal authority within the United States of America. In conclusion, I believe that it is reasonable and appropriate to unambiguously state that Social Security Administration has no legal authority, right, or obligation to determine whether any beneficiary's status falls under the legal definition of adjudicated mental defective under Title 18 U.S. Code 922 D4 or G4 due to their beliefs or their determination of whether a person is disabled under their codes to receive benefits. Feel free to contact me with any questions or concerns on my YouTube channel or Facebook page. Are you ready for it? Signed, Your Worst Nightmare, a well-educated, informed, and socially active American citizen. Are you ready for it? So that was kind of long. It does cite a lot of law. Hopefully you understood it. I will post it somehow on this video. I think if anything that someone should copy in this video, besides like kind of all of it to a degree, is this portion right here. And you can get rid of the top believe or I, whatever, however you want to report that, because it mentions where Title 18 U.S. Code. That is something I did not mention throughout this paper. I think that's actually important to cite regardless of what you write in your letter. So anyway, that was fun. This is Are You Ready For It? Take care, guys. Have a great day.